Hello, this is Richard Luck, and welcome to the UK Horse Racing Experts. I've just been inundated with a few questions, a few emails that I've had over the last year or so, just with regards to what I look for in betting and so on. So I thought I'd just list a few questions and answers or Q&A session just to answer some of the queries that we've had about the way I personally like to trade or like to bet. Okay, so first of all, what factors do you look at when deciding which horses to bet on? Now, there are quite a few factors involved when people look at or punters look at deciding which horses to bet on, which horses they believe will win. And some of those obviously are the natural ones, like the going. So people like to check the going of the actual race course in the morning, typically, and what the official going is. There's also the class of the race that the horse is running in. So has it proven to run in similar classes or even higher classes in the races before? Course and distance, obviously, has it won at the course before? Has it won at the distance? I do like to look at also going back to the class. I'd like to find out if it's actually won at that class before as well. So you've got the going, the class, the course distance, jockey trainer. Okay, so which jockeys and which trainers are involved. I'd like to look at those as well. I'd like to have a quick scan at the live betting market as well. So just like to see if basically a lot of punters believe it's a horse worth betting on. So I like to look at that as well. Okay, so there are a number of factors that are involved in picking winning horses, and those are just a few of those. I will be covering this in a future video as well, so look out for that. Okay, so what is your main intention from betting? It's obviously to draw an income from betting. I'm involved in various different businesses. Racing and betting is just one of them, but my main interests are internet marketing, so that's online businesses as well as property and the stock market as well. I've been trading for many years now. Recently retired from that and have moved on to teaching people as well, which I've been doing now for about 11 years. So I run that on a part-time basis as well. But obviously the main intention is to help people make money from betting, and my intention is always to help people as well as make a bit of a second income, if you like, from betting. What sites and people in the industry do I follow? There's quite a few. Some of the sites, I'd say the Racing Post is a good one, just to find out what people are up to there. The Sporting Life, GG.com as well is another one. Matt Bisogno, many of you may have heard of him. He runs a site called GG's. Michael Wilding of the Race Advisor, he's very good to follow as well. Betfan, I like to have a quick look at to see how their systems are going as well. So those are the main ones I'd say. Timeform is another one that I like to look at as well. But those are the main ones in the industry that I like to follow. Okay, why do people always get onto free trials? Well, the main reason is because they are free, and people like to at least have a bit of a taster, if you like, to find out which services are doing well. And obviously, if they can get a free trial for a week or two, even a month in some instances, then obviously I think that's a good idea. Okay, why do people buy and go from one system to another? Yep, that's actually baffled me a lot as well. I'm very much very big into the personal development industry. I'm also I also like to look at psychology and why, what drives people, what motivates people, human behavior. So I like to look at a lot of things like that. And one of the things is, why do people go from one system to another? And the only thing I can really think of is a bit of impatience. Okay, when betting, and this includes also stock market investing and even running businesses, wherever there's an investment involved, you need to have patience. Okay, things don't work out very soon. Horse racing as well is another one. Just because a horse racing system doesn't do well for 1 week or even 1 month, it doesn't mean it doesn't work over the medium and long term. And I think it's important to bear that in mind, that you are looking, whenever it comes to making money, you are looking at the medium and long term and not just the short term. So we're not talking about you can't build a £1 million business in 1 or 2 days. It just doesn't happen. Okay, so bear that in mind. You are looking at the medium and long term goal. Moving from one system to another really is just moving around in circles. You're not really going to get anywhere. Okay, so just bear that in mind. All right, how much money should I stake on any bet? I always suggest anywhere between 1 and 2% of your total betting bank. So if you do have a betting bank, let's say of £1,000, then stake no more than, let's say, anywhere between £10 and £20 per bet. I certainly wouldn't trade anything more than that. The main reason is we all know, for those who do trade the stock market as well, we all know that money management and risk management is the key. I will be covering this in a future video in more detail, but that is absolutely key. Do not place too much money, like 10% I think is way too much. We're looking at 1 to 2% on any single bet. How much money can I start with? It's a good question, that one. You can start with anything really. I'd say £1,000 and above is ideal, but even if you do have £100, that's enough to get going. What are your goals from betting? I've kind of covered this before. It is obviously to draw an income from the markets, but some of the factors that I look at when it comes to horse racing is to have a strike rate of about 20% plus. Okay, so that's 1 in every 5 races I want a winner. Ideally, that's what I'd like. Profits of 25 plus points every single month. Obviously, you're going to have the odd losing month as well, but I would like to average at least 25 points per month. One of the main things, you need to be happy to accept losses. Okay, losses are a part of any investment, whether it's a business, whether it's stock market trading, or betting. Okay, so you have to be happy to accept losses. I will cover that in a future section as well. One of the things, just going back on that point, one of the things I like to look at is to measure your emotional intensity to taking losses. So, for instance, if you are betting, let's say you're betting £100, and that is quite a bit to bet on, really. But if you are betting £100 on any horse and the horse loses, how do you feel about it? It's one thing to feel disappointed, but it's one thing to feel emotionally devastated. If you do find yourself feeling emotionally devastated, then obviously you need to lower the amount. Okay, I will cover this in the future video, but that's just a quick snippet there. If you can handle losing £10, then emotionally, that is, then obviously that is a good measure to start with. If £100 is too much and it loses, and you literally can't sleep for the night, then you need to lower your stakes. Okay, I will cover that in the future video. I like to rely on good, solid information. So some of the sites and people that I mentioned earlier are good. A good number of tips. I'm happy to bet on 10, 15 horses in a day. Typically, I know punters generally like to have about sort of 5 horses or so. But I do like a good number of tips. A good return on investment, or ROI. Okay, so those are some of the things that I like to look at. I will be covering much more in future videos. If you do like to have a look at our site, it is www.theukhorseracingexperts.co.uk. But I will be covering a lot more in more detail in future videos. This is just a bit of a snippet. Okay, so I hope that was useful, and thank you very much for your time, and we will look forward to, well, I'll speak to you again in a future video. Take care now. Bye bye.